And welcome back. I'm Joseph Hoffman. Well, how is your practicing going with the A section or phrase 1 of Lady Lady? Have you been working hard at it? If yes, that's awesome. I'm proud of you. Today we're going to work on the B section of Lady Lady, so let's come to the piano to get started. All right, let's find the E flat major pentascale with both hands. Your turn. Good. Now we're starting the B section today, which is here in measure 9. When I put something hands together, I like to quickly review hands alone once. The right hand is fa, fa, re. Your turn. While the left hand's doing a 5-7 chord. Ti, fa, so, ti, fa, so. Your turn. Now slowly, let's put that together and notice the rhythms. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now pause the video and try that several times until you feel confident with it. Then press play to go on. Now let's look at measures 11 and 12. The right hand plays mi, mi, so. Your turn. And the left hand does do, mi, so, do, mi, so. Your turn. Now let's put that together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now pause the video and try that several times on your own until you feel confident. Then let's go on together. Now let's put those 4 measures together. We have fa, fa, re, mi, mi, so. Remember, the first time you do something hands together, it feels crazy hard sometimes. Just take your time and know that every time you do it, if you do it correctly, it will get easier and easier. So go really slow, even if it's super slow motion. It's better to go slow and get it correct than play it fast and get it wrong. Every time you play it wrong, remember you're training the mistake. Now, little mistakes here and there are totally fine and expected. But if you're making the same mistake every time, now you're training yourself to play the mistake and you're becoming an expert at that mistake. So you want to go slow so you can train it properly from the start. So pause the video and work on measures 9 through 12, hands together. If you're getting stuck, try it hands alone again, and then bring the hands together. Make sure you're counting so you see when to play. The left hand's always playing on every beat, right? 1, 2, 3. But the right hand sometimes holds 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pause the video to work measures 9 through 12, then press play to go on. Now let's check out measures 13 through 16. Let's review the right hand ones. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now your turn. Now let's try the left hand. We have ti, fa, so, do, mi, so, do, mi, so. Now your turn. Good. Now, in super slow motion, we'll put it together. Sweep the cobwebs out of the sky. Pause the video and work on measures 13 through 16, hands together, as slowly as you need to go to get it correct, and then press play to go on. Now you know the whole song hands together, essentially, because once you've made it that far, we're back to our A section. The only difference is when we get to the end, remember we play do, mi, so, do. The left hand has that final note. So, and on a do, hold for 3 beats, and then both hands lift together to finish. So now, you've got a lot of work ahead of you to make this smooth and confident. Today, it probably feels really slow and clunky and awkward. The only way to really master this is lots and lots and lots of practice and repetition. It's going to feel hard for the first 5, maybe even 10 times, but then when you do it 20 times, it will start to feel like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then after 40 or 50 or 60 times, you'll be cruising along and it will feel like you're the master of this song. So just do some practice every day. Choose the hardest part and just play that over and over again. Like if the hardest part for you is sweep the cobwebs out of the sky, measure 13, just do that section all by itself. Hundreds and hundreds of times if you need to. Trust me, every time you do it, it will get a little bit easier. Now, some advanced tips. As you're practicing this, I want you to remember to always play your pinky near the tip, not flat. And when you're doing those repeating notes, kind of think of sinking in and stroking that note so it doesn't sound staccato, but like broom for my, see how my hand's kind of sinking into that note? Broom for my baby. Remember, all these slur marks mean to play legato, so your hand wants to sink smoothly into each note. Let the notes flow from one to the other. Now, a really advanced pro tip is something called voicing. When you have 2 hands playing together, you want to take the melody, which is the part that we sing, and play that a little extra loud. So the right hand has the melody, because that's the part we sing. The left hand is just playing chords. I say just playing chords. The chords are very important, but they're not the main ingredient of the music. Like if you're making a sandwich, you don't want most of the sandwich to be mustard, right? The mustard is just a little flavoring, okay? You want the main thing to be the bread and maybe the meat and the cheese with a little bit of mustard. And the chords are kind of like the flavoring. You just want to hear a little bit of it to support the melody. So notice if I'm playing this correctly, notice how the melody is quite loud, but my chords, which are the accompaniment, are quite soft. Now that's pretty tricky to do at first, but it makes for a beautiful sound. Listen how ugly this sounds. It's like the lady is stomping around with big heavy boots. Not very happy. Now this is a more beautiful sound. To master doing that, here's a trick that I use with my students. I have them play the right hand as loud as you possibly can. This isn't how you'll really play it, but this is just for practice. Right hand as loud as you can. Left hand, don't even play the notes, just touch them. So you're kind of like, I call it ghost playing, okay? Like if a ghost were trying to play the piano, they couldn't actually make the notes go down, but they could touch them, okay? So this hand as loud as you can, this hand just touch the keys like this. Whoops. So I'm touching the correct notes. Even when I go to the 5-7 chord, I'm touching the notes of the 5-7 chord, but I'm not actually playing them. Now that's going to feel really hard to do at first because you're teaching one hand to do the opposite of the other. It's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. It's 2 different things that you have to think about at the same time. So give it lots of tries, and then once you can do that, ghost playing, super loud, then let your left hand not be a ghost, but let it be like a little mouse where it's just barely playing the notes and the right hand is still as loud as possible. Then once you can do that, the final step is to just don't hammer the right hand so loud. Just let it be beautifully loud and the left hand still keep in the mouse range. And then you get really beautiful playing. This is called voicing. when you make one hand sing out with the melody and the other hand really quiet. My final tip is, yeah, you probably thought I was going to forget about the metronome, but nope. I love the metronome as a practice tool. It's a great way to learn to keep a steady beat. At first, maybe you'll go really slow, maybe all the way down to like 72. Go as slow as you need to that you can play through with no pause. And as you're ready, you can gradually increase that a little at a time. Once you can play with no pauses, no missed notes, increase the speed. Increase the speed gradually until you're at a final speed of, you might shoot for around 152. Nice work getting started with the B section of Lady Lady Hands Together. But your work isn't finished yet. Now it's time to practice lots on your own every day until it's mastered. I recommend starting your practice every day with what feels like the hardest part for you, which may be different every day. Choose a very small section to focus on, maybe just 1 or 2 measures. Play it slowly and carefully, 5 times or 10 times with no missed notes. When you've mastered it, then choose another small section to focus on until you can play the whole song confidently with no pauses. Once you have Lady Lady mastered beautifully, please make a video of yourself playing and share it with me online. I'd really love to see the results of your hard work and practicing. So have fun with this challenge and see you next time. Princess, I'm ready to play for you. Okay, let's hear it. All right, here goes. Scuba, scuba, you practiced hard on your tuba. I did practice hard. That's what made you so good. Now I'm going to go learn another song. I have a feeling we're going to be hearing a lot of tuba from Scuba.